Hey there, it's another Biz Tip Tuesday, and I am your host, Dr. Yam. How is everyone doing today? So, we are back. We're going to continue our series. So, while everyone is connecting, I'm going to be sharing what question I'm going to be answering today. And that question is, how can you get your list kind of lean and mean? As I noted in my memo, there's no point in having a large list if people are not giving you some love back. So I know sometimes we can be a bit, I'll say, jaded when it comes to admiring a list and saying, oh, look at my list. I got X number of people. But is that list really working for you? Because the numbers are probably lying to you. And, as the saying goes, data don't lie. But it's how you're looking at your data, if you're looking at it at all, when it comes to your email list. So today, I'm going to take you to step 3 in our learning series when it comes to email automations and growing your list, going through some of the basics that you probably haven't done yet. And this is an opportunity for you to do so. So again, I'm Dr. Yam, your Keep It Simple coach inside of Content Creation Tips and More Facebook group, as well as over in the Busy 9 to 5ers Hive. If you haven't already launched your dream biz because you're working your 9 to 5 and you need a little help from me, so don't hesitate to head on over there as well. And of course, you can visit me over at keepitsimplecoach.info as well. So again, how can you get your list to grow by going lean? And so I'm going to walk you through another layer of that could look like for you. In our prior coaching session, we took a look at the reasons and the benefits for keeping your list clean and doing it on a routine basis. So if you haven't already watched that video, you see a link either below me if you're on Facebook, to the left inside of YouTube as well. So, or inside of the community, and you'll get access to that other content. But for today, we're going to answer that question. So, one of the things I wanted to help you to understand is that when we're thinking about reactivating what would be considered cold subscribers, and so cold meaning they're giving you the cold shoulder, right? There's hasn't been much engagement from them for a particular number of reasons. So instead of just deleting them by saying, oh, this person hasn't done anything on my list, you may want to try and reactivate them first, kind of give them a last chance kind of before you break up, right? So there's a way for you to run a campaign that will help you to maybe reinvigorate those cold subscribers and get them warmed back up again. Because you just never know what the situation is for them and why they may be cold at this particular time. Now, I'm going to show you, just with that in mind, if you're regularly cleaning out that email list, that's what keeps it really super and important. And reinvigorating that set of cold subscribers before you delete them, you may be able to hold on to a couple of people, and that's always good. It's kind of like resuscitation. Right? So you just don't want to randomly just remove them when there's an opportunity where you could possibly regain their trust back because they may not even know. Which brings me to another matter when we're thinking about cleaning up your inboxes. As I mentioned earlier, there's also the matter of whether or not your mail is really going into their inbox or if it's been sitting up in spam folders or the promotions folder, depending on the inbox, if it's Google, Yahoo, or Outlook and such. So there's another technical method that you may need to consider. And I'll be sharing that extra tip in a following session because it does take a little bit of technicality, and I want to dedicate a session just for that. So first, there's the problem of your open rate, right? So when you look at your data and the reason why you want to get things cleaned up, if people are getting your inbox, they're getting in the inbox, but they're not opening it, right? So if they're not opening it, then that is a negative on your part. That just means they would rather be either they're deleting it, even not even opening it, because you will sometimes, depending on the app that they're using, they may have it set so that they are, when it lands in their inbox, if it's being previewed, that might be considered an open, which it is because they've actually can see it, but they didn't really open it up and clicking the open inbox to read the whole thing in totality. They're just getting a quick preview of it in their inbox in their app or on their desktop, whichever one they are. Um, so we want to keep them, we want to kind of keep that in consideration when you're looking at your numbers. So one of the ways that you can kind of avoid the problem with that open rate is to go what we call a recaptivate or reinvigorate campaign. And all this really is a couple of short emails that you want to just send out to your subscribers and ask them a thing like, one, did you get the email? Two, click here so I know whether or not you have you're getting the email and you really want to stay in. So it's a quick conversation. It's going to be 2 or 3 email sequences that you're going to be setting up. Okay, let me just double check over here. All righty. And so, what that could look like. So, one of the first things that you want to do when you are reinvigorating your list, the first thing before you even get to the writing part is you're going to need to create a tag or a group, depending on the tool that you're using for your email automation system. You want to create a tag or a group that's called reinvigorating sequence, right? So, these are the cold people that you have tagged in the list, right? And you want to tag them as such. That way, when it comes to sending them, you're only going to send this email out to this subgroup of people in your list. So that's step number one, tag them or give them a group name. Okay. Secondly, you want to create a success page. What is that? Well, the success page is going to be the page where if they say, yeah, I want to stay, then you want to send them to a page that says that's kind of a thank you response to that, saying, okay, cool, you're in, and we'll keep you on the list. I'll show you what that looks like in 1 minute. Let me see if I can pull it over here on my screen so you can kind of get a sense for what one can look like. I think it tried to always run slower when I'm online with you guys. So there's that. I'll bring it up when I bring the other emails while we're talking. The next thing that you want to do, so you want to create a nice kind of landing page, but it's just like a success page. Like, great, you're staying, right? I'm happy, you're happy, we're good to go. And then you can go to the next step. And your next step is then going to be creating a rule. And these are some of those system features and functions that you'll find inside of the different email automations. They may call them something different, but most of them are pretty generic in the case of a rule. So in this case, what we're saying is you want to create a rule that says anybody who's been tagged, right? That if they click the yes button, you're going to move them off of that list and put them back in your regular list. If you don't get anything at all, then they're going to stay on the list. So you're creating a rule, which is going to be that trigger that you are setting up in that automation sequencing that you'll do inside of your inside of your email automation system. Okay. Then, so you create your tag, you're going to create a rule, you're going to create your success page. Let's see if my page is coming up here. Okay, hold on. There we go. Let me show you what one could look like so you can kind of get an idea. So these are all the pieces and parts that I can show it as a preview. Let me share my screen with you guys. we go. All right. So this is I showed it in a preview. So this is my little quickie one. So just I found a cute little Giphy. It's like a team that's like, "Yay, we're so happy to have you back." Right? And so you can have that language and say, "Great, you're back. This is the best news I've heard all day. Good to have you back with me. You'll continue to receive my emails. And in the meantime, check out some of my latest blogs." Give them something to do because they've at least recognized that, yeah, I want to stay with you, right? I even have up here a little button that they can even click and do a chat with me if they want to, just as another opportunity to connect. So it could be just that simple little landing page. Here again, the little button like what's new, send them over to a blog, send them over to your community, give them some action to take. But it could be just that simple for your success page. Make sense? All right. Now, so we now have your list is tagged, you've created a rule, you've got your success page. So now you want to be able to then start to think about the actual sequencing of events. And so you're creating your email automation. And again, every system is going to be a little different with respect to how you set them up, but the rules for the most of the time fall very simple. You want to be able to create a sequence where you're going to create your rules that are going to say, okay, anybody who's on this list, and I send it out, and you're going to get the email, number one, which I'm going to show you. They're going to set up the email for this list, and we're going to take them through an email sequence. And if I don't get any behaviors from any of the emails, then I'm going to have them set to unsubscribe, marked as unsubscribed. They won't be deleted from your list. They will simply be on an unsubscribe mode. And the reason why you want to pull those people away is so that when you do your blast emails, your memos, or what have you, they will no longer be there. Now, the reason why I say don't delete them, okay, is that you just never know. You may be able to do another type of a campaign, maybe once a year, and send something out, and people might, bite on it. You never know. But you at least want to unsubscribe them so that they are marked as such in your database. And that's why you needed to create that particular rule. And I'm going to show you what an automation looks like in and of itself. And then the final step, which is pretty much like step 5, I think we're at, is actually writing the actual email sequence, right? Because you want to kind of give a person a reason why you're writing them, like I do care about you, and that basically saying, hey, we haven't talked in a while. I haven't heard from you. Kind of checking to seeing if you're still alive and well, and if you want to stay on my list or not. And then if you're not getting responses, then that's another indication. If somebody clicks and says, yeah, opt me out, then they'll opt out. Great. Then they've done the work for you, right? And then if they say, yeah, I'm running this down the list, I don't know why I haven't been opening it up, whatever, then you're going to go to that success page. But you want to send them a couple. And the reason why that is, again, is you're trying to test to make sure that it is landing in their inbox, that you can at least try to stimulate some conversation or engagement with them as a last ditch effort. Just that simple. So I'm going to open up um, a list of emails. Hold on one second. Hey there, and and all of you that are live, don't feel free, drop some comments, questions, anything that you want here inside of the live feed. If you're on YouTube, you're on Facebook, or inside of the community page. So don't hesitate to ask questions along the way. Happy to answer them, whatever you might have. All right, so I'm going to share my screen, and this time I'm going to share with you a simple email sequence that you can use for your activation. Now, depending on the type of business that you have, you'll need to change the language so that it matches and makes sense. Okay, so this is just a simple version. I actually have two. So let me see if I can bring up the first one. This one is more for if you have products and service, more product type of thing, you can offer them something. So I'm going to share with you this one. Let me do my share screen again. And come on over to Adobe. No, it's a window. Okay. All righty. And then I'll make this bigger. There we go. All right. So it's called, breaking up is hard to do. Which is the name of a song, by the way. And if you know the song, I know how old you are. Anyway, and now I have that song kind of beeping in my head. It's Neil Sedaka is the hint. Is the hint. If you know the song, then again, sing it for me down and below in the comments if you want to. Okay, anyway, let's go back to our email sequence. So remember, this is a short sequence, so it's only going to be like maybe 2 or 3. In this case, I've created 3 for you to you can utilize themselves. So check this out. So email number 1 is, I've got a gift for you. We miss you. That's the subject line. Most people are going to be like, oh, there's a gift. That's always intriguing to people. And then again, you want to get them hooked, right? So that's the way to hook them. So then you just want to say, hey, customer name, it's been a while since we've heard from you. We've got a beautiful thing together. Let's keep it going. So you want to acknowledge that there's a relationship between you and the subscriber that's on the code list. And then, hey, enter in this code and check out a particular discount for a purchase. Now, why is this important? Well, worst thing is you can get a deal, a purchase out the deal, right? Because someone's like, oh, I never got that before. We're trying to, keep this person connected with you. So if you have such an opportunity to offer them, go right ahead and do it, right? Because number one, they're going to take you up on the offer. And then that also means that they've engaged. They might have not been all this time, but they saw that gift email and it got them to open it up. So there's something to be said about that, which also begs to question, why weren't they opening it all this time? But they open it for that free gift. Now, this means 2 things. Number 1, they're probably takers. But that's okay. They can be a taker as long as they're paying. Because sometimes people will get on your list because they opted into a freebie, but they haven't done anything else because they just wanted the freebie. So you're going to get the takers. You're the only ones, and that's the other reason for cleaning this list out. Because if people are just there for that one opportunity and they're not there for where you're adding value for the type of content that you're sharing with them or products that you're selling, then you don't need them on your list because it's counterproductive for you. All right. Next, so they get the link, they go shop, happy shopping, and then give your signature bottom, whatever that is. Okay. That's email number 1. Email number 2. Then it goes to removing from the list. So this is the next step. So here it's like, hey, was it something we said? Again, it's a relationship. You don't want to mean like, it's not you, it's me, right? So again, hey there, we noticed you haven't opened our email recently. So that way it's another indication. I just sent you something, you didn't take action. So now this is my second attempt, right? We'd hate to see you go, but we do want to, we want to keep you in our inbox. But if you're not receiving the emails any longer, then there's no point in us staying together. So click here if you still wish to stay with us, right? And stay on our list. If they do and they take action, we're good. If not, if you don't click the link, and that's kind of where that rule comes into play, right? If a person in your email automation, when you build it out, if there is no clicks off of this email, and you identify the actual URL. If they don't click on the link that's inside of the email as part of your rule building, then you will then tag that person and put them as unsubscribe, right? And then, of course, but always make sure that they know that they can always add themselves back in. And otherwise, we're just going to put you on the unsubscribe list. No hard feelings. Again, just trying to do your business, right? And again, simple thank you. And then email number 3, real simple. Hey, seems like we don't want any emails from us because you didn't take any of our, hooks, right? So we will unsubscribe you from our newsletter or whatever it is that you do. Okay. We're going to miss you. And that's why, just want to remind you in case you want any other discounts of our company. And again, hey, even if you unsubscribe, still take the coupon, okay? Because hey, it's still a cha-ching for you. So why not still extend it to them, right? So go ahead, still extend that discount. Take them, they'll automatically be taken off your list with your rule, and they're happy, you're happy, right? Now I got a cleaner, leaner list. They got a product at a discount. Keep it moving. And that's how that will work. Now, keep in mind that in some instances, depending on how your other email automations are set up, anytime somebody makes a purchase, you may have other triggers that are going to be set up indicating a purchase, and they're going to take them and keep them on the list. So you either have to decide because they purchased that it's a trigger for a new email automation, and that's part of your sequencing anyway, and they know that and they explain it. They can also always have a link at the bottom of your email anyway that says unsubscribe. So they always have that as an option. And if not all email automation systems, that is a default setting. You don't get to not have it there. People have to have an opt out. And that's just part of the design structures of your email automation systems themselves. So, those were your basic 3 emails. If you are watching live and you would like a copy of my email sequence, then please just drop a direct message me if you are inside of Facebook, or you can drop your email address or your link name. And I know that by typing in the comment, I want my free template, and I will be more than happy to send it to you. So only those that were live with me today are going to get access to the free template of emails for your sequencing as well. So that being said, let me also give you, hold on one second. Let's see if I can bring this up. Uh, this is gonna, okay. All right, and I'm gonna share this quick little inbox right here. My screen is not working as nicely as I would like, but this just kind of gives you an indication for your setup. So here on this little example, no, okay. All right. So here's how it could look inside of your email automation. You're going to set up the sequence that says, okay, people who were tagged, right? That when they are in this list, they're going to get email number 1. You're going to wait a day. You're going to say, right? You're going to wait 1 day. And then you're going to say, send another email to delete. And then depending on the numbers, and then after that, you simply want to ask. Then based on that behavior, that rule, if they clicked, they go over here. You're not going to delete them, right? If they did click, then go and put them in the delete folder. And that's your automation, just that simple. Now, depending on your length and the number of emails, you can get very extensive if you want to. I've have some email sequencing for reactivation that are 5 emails. And it, again, just the nature of who you are and your group of people that you have on your list may warrant such an advanced tool. I just did this set just to keep things simple. So always know that you have that available. So now that you have your email body, your content, you've got your rules, you've got your welcome back page, you've got your tags, and you've identified who that group of interactive people are, then the next thing that you want to actually do is set the activation to go live. So once you've done that and set up in your automation system, set it to go live, and then monitor it. Now, you're going to do this often, right? Because you need to be cleaning that list, like I mentioned before, every 3 or 6 months. So this is going to be a reused automation system that you can turn on and off, right? So you're going to make it live, turn it on, run it, tag those people through based on their decisions, right? And when you run your automation, and then put those people who are deleted in the delete folder, and then you're good to go. And again, rinse and repeat. You're going to do the same thing. People who you've tagged that didn't open up email and whatever that setting is for the last 3 months, take them through the same cycle again. So this is a good evergreen automation that you'll be able to keep using and automatically set it if you want to. So you'll have it ready for the next set of conditions. So that being said, I think that's it on that. And so I hope you found this to be helpful. That again, cleaning your email box is important. You want to be lean and mean with your email automation. And that doing so this is a way in which you can either one, regain some people back, as well as get rid of the dead weight, for lack of a better term. Now, in our next email sequence, we will be talking about, let's see, do I even have, I think, next week's sequence, the power of segmentation. So we'll see you back here next week as we continue on our content marketing tips and more strategies when it comes to email automation. And that way you will have an ability, as I always share, this is our content marketing ecosystem. And right now, this is a part of our series, and we are working on email automation. So do note that this is also part of our overarching cycle when it comes to content marketing, how you can improve your methods and strategies as well. So thanks again for another session. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. You can drop me a line here inside of the video, or you can direct message me as well. Until next time, this is Dr. Yan. Let's get busy. Bye.